We had snow for a whole week, which is highly unusual in the Netherlands. And in this little vlog, I'm just going to show you a little bit of how I cozied up inside and worked on my web shop, did some resale printing and some sewing. I have made a very bright and happy, joyful winter coat to hopefully beat winter depression. And there will be lots of yapping involved in this vlog, so if you're not following me, then maybe you shouldn't click on this. Happy New Year! And I got one of those fancy microphones, but I don't think I should put it too close to my mouth. Anyway, awkward hi. Welcome to a new year, and as always, January is my most productive month, I think, when it comes to printmaking and making art. So I thought, why not make a vlog? I'm still recovering from a cold, so might sound a little stuffy, but I'm feeling good, which is nice. And this weekend it was so snowy. It was so magical, honestly. I am very privileged in that I didn't have to travel. I could just stay inside. I had to cancel some plans, but I thought it would, like a friend would come visit me, but we figured it wasn't safe to travel. So that's fine. I just cooped up inside. I just got a gym membership again. I always work out 3 times a week, but at home with YouTube or whatever, and decided to get a gym membership again, which was great, so I could run because I couldn't run outside, so I went into the gym. This is not interesting, I'm sorry. Anyway, my YouTube videos are bombing the last year or so. They get like 200 views at most, but I'm a little delulu, so I'm just gonna go and continue. I'm just gonna show you a little grab into a productive, I think, week or month or whatever. A little context, I'm a wedding photographer, and that means January is like peak off season. And this is just the month that I can finally, I can really indulge in just making art, attending to my web shop, making new prints, getting inspired, just relax. It's amazing. And it is such a privilege. It's something I do not take for granted. And I think it's not only because I worked harder in summer so I can provide for myself in the winter. It's also we have such great amenities, I think, here in the Netherlands, and affordable rent. So I think just want to give a shout out to that. Very, very blessed. This month I am working on a big web shop redesign. Not really necessarily redesign, but I wanted to have taken new pictures yesterday. I'm gonna add new prints. I'm gonna make new prints. I'm gonna remove some prints. And I think I might do some sale, or I'm also thinking about doing Instagram ads. I know they work, but I haven't used them myself. I'm also starting my grant, but the project that I wrote. Whoa. I'm also starting the project that I got a grant for. I also got my first ink haul. Not sure if this is interesting for anyone. It's really heavy. Wait. Yeah, this might not be interesting, but I got like lots and lots of etching inks. A big box. I think I've got like, let me see. Hope it doesn't make too much noise. Yeah, 12 tubes. No, 14 tubes and one, like, let's say 15 kinds of ink. This is sepia, but I also got really beautiful colors like Permanent Viridian Lake. That sounds very pretentious, and I'm loving it. I cannot wait to use those. I'm going to use them for Toyobo plates. And later this month, I'm having a I'm always saying this wrong. Screen printing workshop. So I'm finally learning how to properly screen print with like lighting and filming and stuff. Very, very excited for that. I'm decided to get all my prints together and take up stock for the web shop. And that's what I've been doing. This is very boring. That's my little rant. And I hope you enjoy this video. Probably not, because I think 100 people will watch this. But who cares? Bye!
A quick update, I need to clean up the studio first, is what I'm seeing right now. Ooh, I made some new prints. Japanese inspired. Well, inspired. Pictures of Japan that I have like posterized in Photoshop, and then through spectral light put like a little grid on it, and then Riso printed it. So it gives a bit of a comic effect. I've used this before with previous Japan prints, and I also have one of the Lucky Cat. Well, it's not really a Lucky Cat, but from the cat sample in Tokyo. And what I like about this effect is it's having this a bit of a comic look, a bit of a manga-ish look without getting too gimmicky. I really like them. And strangely enough, they turned out better on paper that I rather not use because the ink doesn't really dry into this paper. But I got a few good prints out of it, and they will be in the web shop soon. I am thinking about, because I made a post on my photography accounts on Instagram, and it was a post with pictures of Japan, and I think it now has 200,000 views, which is insane. So I think there's a really big Japan market. My other previous Japan Riso prints are like one of the most popular prints from last year. So I feel like that's a market that I can explore a bit more. That's not why I started filming. I'm going to work on a little jacket. And it's been a while since I've sewn anything, except for small things. Last weekend I sewed like a little pouch for my hard disk, which is a very quick and satisfying make, and so handy. I love making these small things like pouches, and you know, because they always come in handy and they're quick makes, and it's just so satisfying. But I'm gonna make a winter coat, and I got everything like zippers today. I went to the snow, it's still snowy. I can only walk to places. It's so slippery. I got zippers and everything. I even got some. Oh nay! I even got like needles, and then I just realized I forgot about thread. Yeah, I should have bought thread as well. So I'm hoping I'll have some green threads that I can use and have enough, but I don't think I have. But let's see. I'm not gonna film too much, but yeah, let's just see. I am really in that stage of sewing where I'm just overwhelmed. It's also going to be so messy, honestly. It's not going to look really good, but yeah. I have finally patched everything up, and now I'm just gonna cut it out, because I've just cut it out with no, not like a seam allowance, but like a huge seam allowance, because I'm just quilting, and you know, with quilting it always shrinks a bit. So I just got it out with a really big seam allowance, and now I'm gonna cut it out properly, and then I'm gonna lock all the edges so it's got like really tidy and it's a lot easier to sew. I'm feeling so overwhelmed with this project, and I really wanted to get it over with, because I would love to take pictures with this in the snow, and I think tomorrow is the last day of snow. But I also just want to lay on the couch and do nothing. We're in the middle of a snowstorm right now, so yeah, I'm just gonna continue. Today is hairdresser time. I'm only going to get a cut, and later in the year I will dye it a different color myself, because right now it's not really
the color I want. It's a bit of blonde is just really hard. And my mother always makes highlights for me, but it's never really the color I want. It's a bit too warm. It's like the same color as my skin, and I feel it's time for something different. So I think in the future, I'm just going to grow this out for a bit, and I will be getting more of a ginger again. But now we're going to get it cut. And I'm really sick of all this hair here. And first I was thinking about getting a pixie cut, but no. But I do think I'm gonna get like a very short bob with like lots of layers, and hopefully it will look nice. It sometimes can be quite tricky because sometimes it looks like, you know, I look like a 60-year-old with the shorter hair. But we're gonna see. It's still snowy, and I have to get rid of all this, but my wheelie bins are frozen over. They are frozen shut, so I'm gonna try if I can get rid of all my recycling. And it's still super snowy, but it shouldn't snow today, so I'm just gonna shuffle to the hairdresser. I think it'll take 40 minutes, but first okay, but first what I'm gonna do is going to a coffee shop with my book, and I have a stamp. My collection card, stamp card, or whatever, is full, which means I get a free coffee. That makes me so happy. This is like telling me you're Dutch without telling me you're Dutch. We love free stuff. We're so cheap. I'm going to read a book I've recently read, Flashlight, which was, I traded books with a friend. It was really beautiful. It's about a family with Korean roots, being in Japan and America. It's a complicated story. I really love thick books with lots of character-driven plots. Like The Secret History has been one of my favorites. Plot, and some people might find it boring. I really loved it. It reminds me of Pachinko, a book I read when I was in Korea and Japan. It's a book about a family, Korean family living in Japan during the Japanese War. I've got the name. Not obligation. It's like a occupation. So, wow, that came from deep inside my brain. And a Korean family living in Japan during the Japan occupation in Korea. Fascinating read. Really beautiful and really nice to read it while I was in Korea and Japan myself. Very nice. Yeah, but now to the free coffee. It took like an hour to cut, and at first I wasn't so sure about it. It's still a bit longer than I thought it would be, but I think it's a good thing. But like, he took forever to cut out all these little layers and every detail, which I think is a really good thing. But when they styled it, when they use a blow dryer, that's one of my enemies, and then they also use like the round brush. That is my one enemy, because that makes me just look like an elderly lady. But when I just walked home, I can already see it's starting to curl a bit. So I think when I wash it and style it and just crunch it when it's still wet and let it air dry, I think it will look a lot better, a lot more like me. It does have a lot of texture.
Hello. Well, she's done. I forgot to film the end result, but here it is. Yeah. And to be honest, I wanted to film this yesterday, but then because of the snow melting, my crawl space / cellar was flooded, I think. But my cellar of crawl space has been flooded a few times in the last few weeks, so I think there is a leakage somewhere. Well, it's not important. Anyway, here I am in my very hot jacket. It is finished, and it's not perfect. And I know that you guys always love to see what I do wrong, because that makes you feel better. I'm not going to be like negative. I'm just going to be realistic. Keep that in mind. So, what's wrong with this? First of all, it's too big, and I like my oversized things, but and I've made this exact jacket before in the same size. I even measured the exact measurements from my other make, and somehow it's still turned out too big. Even the sleeves are too big, and I have like quite bulky arms for my frame, and I say that without any any feeling towards it. It's just a fact. So I'm always afraid that my sleeves are too small, but these are too big, and you can see that also here, because I had like crammed it into the armhole, whatever you call this. So it's very bulky, and everything is bulky because this is such a stiff fabric, and I quilted it also, so it's warmer, but it's even more like bulky. For example, the sleeves. I tried to use some elastics to make it a little bit smaller, but the fabric is so stiff that the elastic isn't doing any work. It does do work here and on the back, but it now rides up the whole time, and it's already quite short. So that's also annoying. I think in the future I'm not going to quilt it like this anymore. You can see some lines a little crooked, even though I haven't used many sleeves, stitches. I'm going to the gym after this, so never mind my outfit. I used my old IKEA curtains. I shorted I still use these curtains, but I've shortened them, and I still use these. I still use the fabric, so very sustainable. I did make this one a bit better than my previous make. So I used a little, what do you call it, like a zipper sleeve. This is from a tutorial by Pattern Scout. Pick that up. I think this looks quite alright, honestly. Not mad at this. It's just the shape that's a bit boxy, and I am all for boxy, but maybe a bit too much. We've had a light dust of snow again, but it's been snowing for a week, or we had like snow laying on the ground for a week, which is hugely exceptional in the Netherlands. And to be honest, I went full hermit mode, and I loved it. But first, let's go shuffle to the gym and go for a run. Bye! I've been trying to film this outro for 1,000 times, and I realized that even though I'm doing a lot of yapping here in this video, I'm not really a natural on-camera yapper, I guess I would say. So I just started editing my outro, and it looks... I couldn't watch it. I don't know how people naturally talk to the camera. It's just not happening to me, especially not in a different language. So I'm gonna do a quick summarization. That's not a word. Summarize. So I'm doing a quick summary of what I just talked about. How this week has been a bit weird because I don't have really any appointments. I only had to work at the Printmaking studio, where I work as a content creator for 3 hours a week, which is more like keeping up with the Instagram. And I volunteered there always on Mondays afternoons. And I went to sewing class, and that is it. And it's now Saturday, and I have 0 plans this weekend, which is fine. But I feel like I really need some more motivation to get things going. And I also got like the webshop updated earlier this week, and I got barely any sales, and I got really down about that. And then I wrote like a pity piece on Substack about it being multi-passionate, and not sure how I feel about that, because I do feel like I have many passions, but when it gets hard, I just go to the next one. Someone left me a really nice comment on Substack, which is really nice, and my jacket is also going viral over there, which at first I thought was really annoying,
because of course people are liking a silly jacket that I made and not my art, which is, you know, quite frustrating. But then after a while, sorry, I'm just seeing the kitty of the neighbor in my garden. She's very cute. Yeah, so a very kind comment on Substack, which I really appreciated it. And, you know, after a few days, I felt better. And I also felt better about the jacket getting so much response. And it was actually quite nice. And a few people started following me and started, I think someone also followed me on YouTube. So I think, you know, that's nice. Yeah, so long story short is that you can have all the time in the world, but that doesn't make you any more motivated. I need some more motivation coming from the inside. And in the next year, I really want to work on creating a better routine even, maybe, and maybe building more of a community. I think I would love to teach and not like tutorials on YouTube. I find that really tedious to make, but like in real life. And yeah, I've been thinking this week. I've been thinking a lot. But I'm just going to stop here. And I hope you enjoyed the jacket. I really enjoy it. It's actually, honestly, a bit too hot. It's a beautiful, beautiful day today. Like, it felt like spring, which is such a weird feeling if you've seen the first takes of the video. But the birds they are awake, which is so fun to hear. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at here. And let me know if you like the new prints or the new jacket or whatever, and have a look at my web shop. Not necessarily to buy anything, but maybe you have some more suggestions on how I could make it look better or work better. And please let me know. I'm open to critique, I guess. Thank you for watching. If you've watched it all, I am so very sorry for this long vlog. And I will not make a yappy vlog ever again. Thank you. Bye.